Hi, my name is Christian, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Kalos and his 4 types of play and how they relate to Fallout 4 respectively. Alright, now let's begin. The first 4 types of play that I'll be discussing is Ilinx. Now, Ilinx by definition is a kind of play that describes how it creates a temporary distribution of perception, as with vertigo, dizziness, or disorienting changes in direction and movement. Now, Ilinx can be found all throughout the Fallout game. An example of this would be riding in a vertibird, which is a type of helicopter from the game. However, another specific example of this is the area of the game where you enter the mind of the character named Kellogg. You are then forced to proceed through this character's memories, where all sense of reality is gone as you walk on what seems to be brain synapses in a purple haze. Voices also echo and the screen will begin to get blurry. Another state of the game where Ilinx can be experienced is when you take drugs meant for combat. Now, when you take drugs in the game, you're given advantages. However, your vision in the game is hindered as well as your hearing. For example, like if you're taking the drug Jet, it slows down time and the voices you'll start hearing are muffled from the drug. Another drug is cat eyes that are meant to help you see in the dark, but if you take them during the day, they'll hinder your vision, making everything extremely bright. When you're on the drugs, it helps you out with perks, but like I said, it will completely mess with your vision, thus creating a state of Ilinx where you're disoriented and you're not really sure what's going on. Alright, now the next type of play that I'm going to cover is Aaliyah. Now, the best example of Aaliyah in games would be a slot machine, like at a casino. Now, I know there are actually a slot machine in the Fallout games. Other examples would be like legendary loot drops in the game. These instances of chance can affect the game greatly. For example, you might need to take out a bunch of enemies, and coincidentally, the first one you take out drops a rocket launcher that makes quick work of the enemy. Another big instance of Aaliyah in Fallout is the whole entire VAT system that you're used to. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the VAT system, basically what it does is it lets you target enemies' body parts, and then you can switch between them, and it'll give you a percentage about how likely you're going to hit them. Now, the chance with this is, like I said, if it's only like a 10% chance, you're probably not going to hit them. So there's this whole concept, I guess, gambling like in a slot machine like that. Another instance is that when you're in the VAT system, you have the chance to use a critical hit. Now, why this is another instance of Aaliyah is, like the VATs, you could shoot at your target and you can only have 20% chance of hitting it, so you might not want to use your critical strike because it'd be a waste of a move. So that would be another instance of Aaliyah. Alright, with the third type of play by Kalos, I'm going to discuss mimicry or mimesis. Now, mimicry is really easy to understand if you're into role-playing in your RPGs or games in general, because that's basically just what it is. So, for example, in my game, I've been doing missions for the Brotherhood of Steel, and role-playing as a Brotherhood Knight, a rank I worked up to in the game. Now, as Brotherhood Knight, you have a mindset where you don't like anything but humans. So all the synths, ghouls, and super mutants in the game, you go out of your way to completely eradicate from the Commonwealth, supposedly making it a better place. Along with this, I've been only wearing Brotherhood regular combat armor and making heavy use of power armor that I've customized to the liking of the Brotherhood, and Brotherhood use that in general. Another thing that I've been doing is avoiding fast travel. Now, role-playing can take all different types of degrees, and another one I'm doing is to avoid making fast travel and using the vertibirds that the Brotherhood give you access to as almost like a privilege for getting high up in their ranks. So just things like that make mimicry a really easy thing to relate to in the Fallout games, because you'll find more often than not that people are playing a certain play style either because they want to or because they're siding with the factions that they've become more acquainted with, or at least they like more. And you'll either find it doing it more deliberately, like deliberately making decisions like you would as a Brotherhood Knight, or you'll just make them because you're just siding with the people that you relate to the most, whether you're doing it intentionally or not. Now, the fourth and final type of play discussed by Kalos is Agon. Now, I know with Agon, usually it's compared with multiplayer games where you are competitive against players. Now, I know there isn't strictly a multiplayer aspect to Fallout 4, I still think Agon takes a huge place in the game. The competitiveness with players can be looked at in the achievements. Now, achievements are still technically a part of the Fallout 4 game. After completing certain objectives, you're rewarded with an achievement or a trophy. saying that you completed this. Now, although not directly competitive, I can say for at least myself, playing with my friends, like, when the game first came out, it would always be like, oh, what level are you at? And like, oh, I'm trying to get to level 32. And it's like, oh, I'm only at level 28. There's still competitiveness between your friends, either because you just want to have a higher level than them, your guys, upgrade your guy more than them, find better gear, or just you don't want the story spoiled for yourself, that you want to get to a higher level so that next time you talk to your friend, that you're on an equal playing field, you don't have to worry about anything being spoiled. I can at least mention several times that me and my friends, we'd all be in the same room playing on different Xboxes, but still enjoying the game together, trying to get through a mission faster and just competing that way. Another way Aegon takes place in the game is fighting the computer. Now, in the game, you'll have settlements where they'll send AI after you, so raiders, deathclaws, or super mutants, and you're supposed to hold off your base. And the way to combat this is to be there yourself and take out the enemy, or a more reliable thing would be to upgrade your base. So either upgrading your townsfolk with weapons or guard posts, or even adding turrets to keep your base from going, or getting taken over anyways. And these are just other examples of the way Aegon can be looked at in the Fallout game. And I believe that these are the 4 types of play by Kelwas. Thank you for listening.